Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Nalo, and today we're going to be taking a look at some cheap investments. To be completely honest, it's a little difficult to make content right now because Valve hasn't really given us anything other than just bug fixes for like 3 months. So I'm not gonna lie, the content pools are kind of dry. So while I do have some ideas lined up, if you have any content suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Anyway, for those of you that are making the more intelligent decision to buy during the low points, then welcome to this video where we're going to look at some cheap investments. We'll get into that after a word from our sponsor, Skin Auctions. The sponsor for today's video is Skin Auctions. Skin Auctions is a great way to spice up your normal buying and selling process, mostly because you can literally get skins on here for 90% off. No, actually, this happens all the time. I was surprised too. I know that sounds suspicious, but I actually know the people behind this. It's fully legit. So here's how it works. First, you want to head over to the free bids page, and you can go ahead and collect daily free bids. If you're one of the first, you can use this code for a little bonus, or you can do some easy tasks to get free bids. After that, you'll want to head over to the deposit page so you can start bidding. There's quite a few different deposit options, including CS2 items. Once you get topped up, you can head over to the auctions page to pick out some items that you want to bid on. You can either bid normally once the auction starts, or you can use a feature called Bidmo. Bidmo lets you automate your bids on items, so you can go to the upcoming auction section and use Bidmo if you're not going to be there for the actual auction. You can get all kinds of things, liquid skins or even some knives, so it's definitely worth checking out Skin Auctions using my link in the description below. For those of you that have watched my previous videos about cheap investments, this probably isn't going to be anything super revolutionary, but sometimes it's good to reiterate to confirm that something is still valid at this point, since the market is ever changing. So the first investment that I want to highlight is going to be revolver cases with an alternative choice of the Phoenix case. As some of you may know, I've already talked about these in depth, but essentially the theory behind the revolver case is that, of course, you can get the ceramic blue gem from it, the super expensive one. So to large case unboxers, it's a fairly attractive case to open. It's no question that the CS2 player count is pretty low right now with a complete lack of content, but my bet is that the next major content update will make the player count absolutely explode and will bring a lot of people to the game, especially streamers that will be trying for that blue gem for stream content or YouTube content. With that in mind, revolver is the lowest cost way to access that, with Phoenix being the next cheapest way to access that. The benefit that Phoenix has over revolver, despite having a higher price, is that Phoenix actually features some pretty decent looking skins. The revolver case is pretty awful aside from like the point disarray, but the Phoenix case has the USP Guardian, it has the AK Redline, and of course the Op Asimov. So even besides the ceramic blue gem, it has a lot of really cool, very liquid, and very desired play skins. Plus, unlike the revolver case, it is an operation case. Now moving on to the second cheap investment, I picked out 3 different glitter stickers. The first one is the Imperial Antwerp glitter, the second one is the Mao's Paris glitter, and the third one is the C9 Antwerp glitter. So I did a deeper analysis on glitter stickers in a previous video recently, but one thing's for sure, glitters have not been out for a super long period of time, so they haven't had a ton of time to sort of settle into the market. That being said, they still have shown pretty solid performance and are very cheap, so I don't think it's a bad idea at all to look into these. The Mao's Paris glitter is going to be the cheapest one out of all of these, but it will also be in much higher supply because it's from Paris. The C9 glitter and the Imperial glitter basically stand at the forefront of all glitter stickers in general and are the most desired for crafting and that kind of thing. All 3 of these stickers are also borderless, which is a pretty nice benefit as well. We'll see what happens when Copenhagen 2024 releases its stickers, but you could potentially have a solid exit point as we approach Copenhagen and people start to sort of FOMO. Okay, the third spot on this list is going to go to the Gods and Monsters Grays. Generally speaking, most Operation Collection Grays are pretty solid investments, but what makes the Gods and Monsters collection sort of stand out a little bit and made me want to spotlight it is the fact that every single tier above Gray has like one desirable, decent looking skin in it. At the light blue tier, we have the Op, Sun, and Leo, of course, and of course gray skins actually trade up directly to this, so that could be a pretty big draw to use up more gray skins. At the blue tier, we have the MP9 Pandora's Box, which seems to be sort of a more niche MP9, but is definitely preferred over the Minotaur's Labyrinth, which it shares a tier with. At the purple tier, we have the notorious Icarus Fell, of course, a very good looking skin, one that I actually own myself. At the pink tier, we have the M4A4 Poseidon, generally speaking, one of the most popular M4s in the game. And at the red tier, of course, we have the Op Medusa, which although there's kind of been some more distaste for it recently, it still holds a very high price and is still a relatively desired op by a lot of people. So I just thought that was kind of interesting how there's pretty much one desired skin at every single tier. In a lot of these collections, like Dust 2021 for example, there isn't exactly a desired skin at every tier, so that could have an interesting effect on the supply drain and the trade-ups in general. And for the final spot on this list, this qualified for one of my recent videos and also qualifies as a cheap investment, so I figured I'd spotlight it here, and this is the Cashander Boston Paper. This thing is surprisingly only about $6 on Steam. It's a 2018 sticker, which means the supply of it is not super high, and it has had some years for the supply to dry up. It's a very iconic sticker. A lot of people really like this one and pick it out of a crowd. Cashander souvenirs, for example, are pretty difficult to get your hands on and generally pretty rare and desired. So although he's not exactly the most iconic player of all time, his autograph definitely has gained a pretty solid cult following, and a lot of his autograph stickers are very expensive, except the Boston Paper version. Now it's important to note that both the Krakow Cashander and the Boston Cashander signature are the exact same. They just have different borders on them, The Krakow Keshander Gold, for example, is one of the most sought after stickers in general, so this Boston Keshander paper gives you a pretty interesting entry point. However, I do want to note that $6 is kind of up there for a cheap investment, so I wanted to provide an alternative autograph as well. And for this one, I'm choosing the Rocks paper from Antwerp 2021. Rocks as well as a very iconic sticker and a very iconic logo. While I don't think this paper looks particularly as good or really stands out as much as the Keshander one, it's still extremely cheap to buy in large quantities, and with the Rocks Hollow being such a widely talked about sticker, there should be pretty solid draw to this item for years to come. So anyway, that's my list of some cheap investments. If this video helped you find one, consider leaving a like. It helps me immensely and costs you absolutely nothing. Subscribe to the channel for the best CS2 investment tips anywhere else on YouTube. Make sure to check out my Discord server and my Twitter with the links below. I'll answer all your investment questions completely for free. And finally, be sure to check out skin auctions. Thanks guys, see you next time. Peace.